Supergirl, Season 6, Episode 7, titled Fear Not. And this episode... Why is this a common theme? Why is this like for a final season? Why is this a common theme of the words, "This was a disappointing episode"? Why? Like seriously, this episode was disappointing. Like the concept alone was good, but it was the execution. It was mainly in its script and its storytelling that really suffered from it. I mean, for me, I was happy finally that we were going to have the episode where, okay, we're going to get done with this fan zone stuff. We're going to get We're going to get Team Supergirl getting Kara and getting her out of the fan zone. And I'm like, thank God this is the episode. And while they're on that journey, they are going to experience their fears on the ship, and we're going to see each other's vision and each other's fears and that type of thing. And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool, but this episode, like, the best way to describe this episode is exposition. Like, if you want to know how over explaining this episode is, it's the first 5 minutes. Them setting the groundwork of, hey, this is the fan zone, we need to do this, and blah blah blah. Turns out the Watchtower is also a ship, not actually the Watchtower, like, you know, justly categorized, like just a little tiny little ship. That, you know, and this and what that, and you're like, okay, that's simple. I'm smart. Like, I get the gist of the sci-fi stuff. Okay. But then they just explain it more and explain it and explain it and explain. I'm like, why are you complicating this? It's simple. Go in portal. We're in a ship. We get Kara. We might feel us of fears. The end. Like, why is this so complicated? I just, like, my brain was hurting. I was like, I don't, that's not good. And you just setting things up. But then the appendice of this episode happens where, because there's a clock aspect, it's like each break, commercial break, is the segments of them is per character. And I was like, seeing that ticking clock all the time, I was like, okay, I'm over it by like the second, third person. And I felt like the way to do it is kind of, you just merge it all and maybe change the aspect ratio in a way. You know, if it's going to be the Cybersoap, if you're going to pull a Snyder cut on you, like, to something to tell us like we in a fear vision and that whole thing for most of the episode, like, have that aspect of it, because it just, seeing, you know, then this and then this and then this, it just felt very clunky, very just repetitive, and just very like, like I don't mind. Actually, I really like time loop episodes, but this one just felt repetitive. The greatest fear are there's two fears. One is Kara's. Kara's fear is like the whole thing of like hope. Like, she's so optimistic, but her greatest fear, what if she is too basically, her greatest fear is her being full of hope. What if that is the negative impact? And then the other one is, you know, Brainy having a fear of balloons. I mean, I'm like, dude, the rubber with air, step on them, they pop, and then you get a loose piece of plastic, like a used condom. Like, it's not that hard of a space. But again, he's a robot. Where's the OG Brainiac to be like, I would be like, they're balloons. You're meant to be trying to help me beat the spoil worlds, for God's sakes. No, the collector was the spoil worlds. The collector worlds. Jesus, the spoil worlds. What the hell? But that. So yeah, this is so far, knowing this is the mid-series finale, so the final mid-series finale, and knowing that we have to wait till August for the remaining 13, so far this season has been a letdown, and you're like, God damn, I don't know it's COVID, I don't know it's ideas, I don't know it's because for some reason your main actor was still on maternity leave. And you try and figure things out and how to place things in. It's just so far just a disappointing season. And while, like, I still think the highlight has been, like, season 4 is probably still the best season, but it's just, yeah, it's just, this is when, normally this is when you get a disappointing season, you normally wait for the crossover, but knowing that the crossover isn't going to be a thing this year, but hey, at least next week we're going to watch some Superman and Lois. That's our placement, so at least I'll be like, hey, Superman and Lois, that's awesome, right?